A lot of people are clamoring for Grand Theft Auto on Nintendo Switch. But you know what? Rockstar says, hell no, we're not doing that, because LA Noire probably didn't sell that great. Why didn't it sell that great? Because it's LA Noire and it's not Grand Theft Auto. Rockstar, you should know better. You know Grand Theft Auto is going to sell great on Switch. But anyway, in the meantime, at least we got Saints Row the third, the full package. Very random of them to bring this game to the Nintendo Switch instead of the latest one, which was the fourth title, but a lot of people loved this one a lot, so I guess it does make sense. But anyway, here at Nintendo Enthusiast, we've been playing it over the past few weeks, and here's our review, so let's jump on in. Saints Row the Third being ported to Switch was a dream come true. My personal favorite of all the do-as-you-please crime sims out there. Now portable with tons of DLC. Saints Row the Third, the full package, is in theory the perfect first outing for the genre on Nintendo's hybrid console. Luckily, this stays mostly true in execution. The game's bite-sized missions, tons of collectibles, and the plain fun of driving around wreaking havoc all lend themselves to the on-the-go experience. The main drawback of this port is the rare but notable glitches and frequent slowdown in docked mode. Otherwise, the game really does not add much to the original outside of a co-op mode. If you weren't in love with Saints Row the Third in the past, this version won't change your mind. If you were a fan in the past, then you're in luck. The gameplay is still fantastic as it was 7 years ago when Saints Row the Third first came out. If you've played the game before, then you know what you're getting into. If you haven't, well, think of it as Grand Theft Auto's very weird cousin. With this entry, the franchise went off the deep end and fully embraced its unhinged lunacy. In addition to the traditional gauntlet of cops and rival gangs, players face off against virtual reality demons, laser-toting soldiers, zombies, and an unusual degree of sexually explicit missions. It's an absolute ridiculous experience packed with hours of pure fun. My playthrough for this review was constantly prolonged by distracting side activities, hunting for collectibles, and the absolute thrill of roaming free and antagonizing gangsters in a tricked-out street sweeper. Speaking of tricked out, the customization options in Saints Row the Third, the full package, are as absurd as ever. The possibilities are endless with the expansive character editor. My main character sported purple skin and a bright green ponytail with a pinch of plastic surgery. You can also deck out your cars with tons of mods, both aesthetic and performance-based. Saints Row the Third, the full package, ensures that you look how you want while you're out there taking over Steelport. The Switch port unfortunately does not deliver much more than the 7-year-old experience many of us already had. Without considering how great a few extra missions could have been, there were several opportunities to make small additions, like new songs to the soundtrack, new activities, vehicles, or weapons. Having new things like that added would have gone a long way. However, the packed-in DLC did add local and online co-op that will suffice for some. However, I was not able to test out the co-op during this review period. One thing that surprised me was how well the game runs in handheld mode. The gunplay took some time getting used to with the Joy-Con, but it wasn't long before I was popping headshots with ease. Unfortunately, the game is a bit choppier in docked mode, which really surprised me. It wasn't unplayable, but it was very distracting. There were a few glitches as well, including 2 or 3 instances where I had to outright restart the game. Along with that, some cutscenes were completely out of whack, but the more exciting hiccup was where my tank started flying. Take all of this with a grain of salt though. The game is planned to have a day 1 patch, which could fix a huge amount of these issues. If you love Saints Row and really need your on-the-go crime sim fix, you'll be happy with Saints Row the Third, the full package, so long as you don't mind swallowing a few glitches. The game impressed in handheld mode, but if you're wanting to play on the TV, you'll have to wait and see how the day 1 patch addresses these matters. The good news is that a lot of those technical issues can be fixed, so even if you're discouraged by the current state of the game, keep an eye on this one because the experience holds up very well. All of these years later, Saints Row the Third still does chaos right.